Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have to tell you folks, looking at the way things are shaping up lately, it really gets a man thinking about the twists and turns of life. I have been watching these people navigate their messy, beautiful lives for what feels like a lifetime. And sometimes a moment comes along that just stops you in your tracks. When I saw the latest developments between Jason Morgan and Britt Westbourne, I felt a familiar ache in my chest. It is the kind of ache you feel when you see two good people realize that their paths are heading in opposite directions. It is clear as a bell that we are witnessing the end of an era for these two, but let me tell you, it is not happening the way you might expect. There is no screaming, no throwing things, and no bitter betrayal. It is just life, plain and simple, unfolding in the most bittersweet way imaginable. Let us set the scene for a moment, because the backdrop of this whole situation is just as surprising as the conversation itself. Picture a classic American summer afternoon. The sun is shining, the smell of fresh cut grass is in the air, and the whole town has gathered for a friendly charity baseball game. It is the kind of wholesome, salt-of-the-earth event that makes you proud of your community. You have got the folks from General Hospital in their crisp team uniforms, and then you have the opposing team. Now, if you were expecting to see Jason stepping up to the plate in a black Corinthos coffee jersey, you are barking up the wrong tree. In a sight that I honestly thought I would only see when pigs fly, Jason is out there wearing an ELQ baseball uniform. I had to rub my eyes and look twice when I saw that ELQ logo on his chest. For those of us who have been following his journey through the years, that simple piece of clothing speaks volumes. It is a heavy symbol. We all know the tragic history there. Ever since that terrible car accident that resulted in his traumatic brain injury, Jason pushed the Quartermain family away with everything he had. He rejected their money, their lifestyle, and their name. The only person in that grand mansion who ever truly held his heart without any conditions was his sweet grandmother, Lila. Bless her heart, Lila was an angel on earth, and she was the sole reason he took the name Morgan. So seeing him willingly put on an ELQ uniform today is a massive shock to the system. It tells me that the ice is thawing, that he is making peace with his roots, and that we are looking at a man who is fundamentally changing from the inside out. Now, you might be wondering why he is not representing Sonny and the coffee business like he always does. Well, the truth is a bit of a tough pill to swallow for the Corinthos organization. They have hit a major rough patch lately. That ruthless Jen Sidwell managed to pull the rug right out from under them, taking over the piers in the warehouse. Until Sonny can figure out a way to buy that property back and reclaim his territory, Corinthos Coffee is pretty much a non-entity on the map. It is sidelined, just like Jason's old life in the mob seems to be taking a back seat right now. It forces a man to look at what is really important when his usual daily battles are put on hold. So there they are, sitting on a wooden bench right there on the ball field. Britt is dressed in her General Hospital uniform, looking as sharp and dedicated as ever. The behind-the-scenes glimpses of this moment show a conversation that is heavy, serious, but incredibly gentle. You can look at Jason's face and read his heart right there on his sleeve. He is not making light conversation about the weather or the score of the game. He has the solemn, steady look of a man who has a difficult truth to share, but there is a profound kindness in his eyes. He wants to make absolutely sure that Britt knows this is not about a lack of affection. He cares for her deeply, but sometimes caring for someone means being honest about what you can and cannot give them. And Britt, bless her, she just sits there and listens intently, and she is not throwing a fit or acting totally blindsided. If we are being completely honest with ourselves, she probably saw the writing on the wall the minute he returned to Port Charles. When he came back to town, he did not immediately seek her out to sweep her off her feet. She just happened to be on duty at the hospital when he walked through those doors. A smart woman like Britt knows what that means. It means you are not the first thought in his mind when he wakes up. And for a woman who has worked so hard to rebuild her life and find her own worth, she knows she deserves to be someone's first choice. The real kicker here, the absolute core of this breakup, is something that any parent out there will understand in their bones. Jason is not leaving Britt for another woman. He is not running off to chase a new romance. He is clearing his life, stripping away all the distractions for one single purpose: his son, Danny. Jason has had a massive wake-up call. He realizes the sheer amount of time he has lost with his boy. Time is the one thing in this world you can never buy back, no matter how rich or powerful you are. He looks at Danny and sees a young man who desperately needs his father's presence, not just his protection from afar. As a man who has seen the seasons of life come and go, I can tell you that there is nothing more powerful than the pull of fatherhood when it finally takes root in your soul. Jason is making the incredibly mature decision that he cannot juggle a complicated love life and be the full-time hands-on dad that Danny requires. He has decided that there will be no girlfriends, no romantic entanglements, and no divided attention. He is just going to be a dad. It is a sacrifice, sure, but it is the most beautiful kind of sacrifice a man can make. He is laying down his own personal desires to build a foundation for his child. It is a new day and truly a new beginning for Jason. And you know what? Britt understands this better than almost anyone else could. She has grown so much from the prickly, defensive woman she used to be. She has discovered a deep, nurturing well of maternal love inside herself, particularly through her bond with her surrogate son, Rocco Falconeri. She loves that boy with all her heart, and she knows exactly what it means to put a child's needs above everything else. When Jason explains that his son has to be his entire world right now, Britt's own heart, though perhaps a little bruised, recognizes the truth and the honor in his words. She cannot fault a man for stepping up to be a good father. In fact, it probably makes her respect him even more. It is a hard thing to let go of love, especially when the love is not toxic or broken, but simply ill-timed. Britt has a brand new lease on life. She has fought hard for her health, her career, and her peace of mind. Why should she remain tied down to an old leash of love if Jason needs to let go to fulfill his duties as a father? It is time for her to release him with grace. She has to let him go, knowing that he is doing exactly what he should have done all along for Danny. It is a clean break born out of necessity and mutual understanding rather than anger or betrayal. But do not you worry about our girl Britt for one single second. The universe has a funny way of opening a window when a door closes. The whispers around town and the summer breezes are carrying some very interesting news. It seems that, unlikely as it might feel right now, in the midst of this breakup, Britt is not going to be sitting on the sidelines for long. A handsome new face is entering her orbit, a gentleman by the name of Tristan Roberts. Now, that is a name that sounds like a fresh start, does it not? I firmly believe that everyone has a season for waiting and a season for blooming. Britt is about to step into a bright new chapter. Tristan Roberts might just be the breath of fresh air. She needs someone who can offer her a clean slate without the heavy baggage of the mob, the complex family histories, or the ghosts of the past. She deserves a romance that is uncomplicated, where she can be the undisputed leading lady in a man's life. So while we might shed a small tear for the end of the road for Jason and Britt, we can smile knowing that they are both heading exactly where they need to be. I also want to take a moment to appreciate the simple beauty of how this story is being told. We are so used to seeing these characters in life or death situations, dealing with mob violence, hospital emergencies, and high-stakes drama. To strip all of that away and place them on a simple wooden bench at a community baseball game is a stroke of genius. It reminds us that underneath all the action and the chaos, these are just people trying to figure out their hearts. The dirt on their cleats, the sunshine on their faces, and the quiet honesty between them make this breakup feel more real than any dramatic screaming match ever could. It is a testament to the fact that sometimes the most profound changes in our lives happen not with a loud explosion, but with a quiet, gentle conversation on a summer afternoon. It is funny how life works out, isn't it? You go to a simple charity baseball game expecting to see some friendly competition, and instead, you witness the quiet, profound turning points of people's lives. You see a man in an ELQ uniform, finally embracing his family legacy and choosing his son over everything else. You see a strong, independent woman, nodding in understanding, ready to walk toward her own bright future. It is these human moments, these deeply emotional choices, that keep us coming back to these stories day after day, year after year. Looking at the whole picture, I cannot help but feel a sense of pride for Jason. It takes a lot of guts to admit you have been absent, and even more guts to change your entire life to fix it. He is proving that it is never too late to be the man your family needs you to be. And Britt, she is showing us all what grace looks like under pressure. She is walking away with her head held high, her heart open, and her future looking brighter than ever. I will be sitting right here, eagerly watching to see how Tristan Roberts treats our girl, and hoping with all my heart that Jason finds the peace and connection he is so desperately seeking with young Danny. In the end, whether you are wearing a hospital uniform, a coffee shop apron, or an ELQ jersey, we are all just trying to do the best we can for the people we love. That is the real truth of it all. It is a beautiful, messy journey, and I would not trade a single moment of watching it unfold. These characters feel like old neighbors to me, and seeing them grow, make tough calls, and find new paths is one of the simple joys in this life. Let us raise a glass of sweet tea to new beginnings, to fathers stepping up, and to the endless possibilities of a fresh romance on the horizon.